Thomas Neff allegedly killed the couple in this home just 1 month.
In light of the facts, in light of the fact that he just got out of prison after serving a 15-year sentence, Your Honor.
He was actually arrested again on May 31st by Detective Sloan.
I am sentencing the defendant as it relates to count 2.
This past April?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you in prison?
About 15 years.
Just out of prison, police say he stabbed a couple in their home and left the bodies behind, rotting there for weeks.
A timeline of the Parma Heights double slaying. The harrowing tale of Thomas Knuff and the Parma Heights double slaying unfolds like a sinister narrative, weaving a chilling timeline that exposes the depths of human darkness. It begins in the early 2000s when Knuff, confined within the stark walls of prison, establishes an ominous connection with Regina Capabianco through a pen pal program. What started as a seemingly innocuous correspondence would metamorphosize into a sinister chapter as Knuff, released on parole, inserts himself into Capabianco's life. The boundaries blurred, and he moved in with her and John Mann, initiating a sequence of events that would plunge them all into the abyss. The narrative takes a ghastly turn when an argument over living arrangements erupts, transforming the once shared space into a battleground. In a fit of escalating rage, Knuff, armed with a chilling determination, brandishes a weapon, knifing both Capabianco and Mann multiple times. The air thickens with the echoes of their anguish, etching a grisly tableau of violence. Yet the horror doesn't end with the blood-soaked act. Knuff, driven by a malevolent desperation, embarks on a macabre cover-up. The lifeless bodies of Capabianco and Mann, silent witnesses to the unspeakable brutality, are callously left in the confines of the bedroom. The passage of time becomes a haunting specter as Knuff orchestrates a grotesque charade, leaving the bodies undisturbed for over 2 months. As the stench of deception hangs heavy in the air, Knuff's sinister plot takes another disturbing turn. In a twisted bid to erase the evidence of his malevolence, he reaches out for assistance. The chilling solicitation involves enlisting help to dispose of the bodies, a macabre plan that casts a shadow over the already grotesque tableau.
After his release from 15 years in prison, but court records show he tried to get out sooner.
And the allegation is less than a month after you were released from prison?
Over a month, probably.
So Detective Sloan spoke to him about his investigation, the missing person investigation, and then arrested him on those warrants.
After considering all of the required factors under 29, 11, 12, and 13,
the troubling case of Thomas Knuff, painted with strokes of horror and betrayal, stands as a stark reminder of the depths that humanity can descend to when darkness takes root in the human soul. Judge imposes ending sentence. In the cold corridors of justice, a chilling verdict echoed through Cuyahoga County as Judge Dina Calabrese wielded the gavel of fate, condemning Thomas Knuff to the ultimate penalty for the gruesome 2017 knifings of John Mann and Regina Capabianco. The air in the courtroom, heavy with the weight of unspeakable acts, seemed to freeze as the sentence of demise hung in the atmosphere like an unrelenting fog. Jurors, mere mortals burdened with the grave responsibility of deciding a man's fate, had already whispered their grim recommendation, the demise penalty. Judge Calabrese, a figure of authority in the somber theater of justice, accepted this dark counsel. It was a macabre dance of legalities, a scripted finale to a tale tainted with blood. Thomas Knuff, the perpetrator of this heinous act, stood as a living specter in the courtroom, convicted of the savage knifings that silenced Mann and Capabianco in their Parma Heights sanctuary. But the horror doesn't end there. Like a character in a twisted noir, Knuff sought to cloak his malevolence with a veil of deception, attempting to burn away the evidence of his maleficent deeds. A desperate gambit to erase the traces of his brutality, to cast the victims into the abyss of oblivion. As the judge's words cut through the air, the room resonated with the ghastly echoes of the crimes. The shadows of the condemned man, dressed in a facade of normalcy with slacks and a dress shirt, painted a grim portrait of a soul untouched by remorse.
not once did I recall hearing those things.
What were you in prison for? What were you in prison for?
Of course, at that time, we did not know about the murders. And at that time, he had 2 warrants.
A whispered promise escaped his lips, a vow that his tale of terror was far from its final chapter. In the aftermath of this judicial reckoning, the narrative lingers, an unsettling tale of demise and the darkness within. The echoes of the gavel's finality reverberate through the county, leaving a chilling reminder that some stories are written in blood, sealed with the ink of the condemned. Claims of falsehoods in court. In the hushed confines of the courtroom, a somber tone draped the proceedings as Judge Dina Calabrese rendered the fateful verdict on Tom Knuff for the 2017 knifings that extinguished the lives of John Mann and Regina Capobianco. The air grew heavy with the collective sorrow of the victims' families as Judge Calabrese, her voice a solemn cadence, pronounced Knuff's destiny. A poignant moment unfolded as Judge Calabrese, her eyes carrying the weight of responsibility bestowed upon her, expressed her astonishment at the apparent absence of remorse in Knuff. In the midst of grief, Knuff remained an unmoving figure, detached from the profound gravity of the occasion, casting a shadow over the solemnity of the courtroom. In a sorrowful turn, Knuff, seemingly untouched by the solemnity of the moment, levied accusations against the Cuyahoga County prosecutors and Parma Heights police officers. He claimed falsehoods tainted the very fabric of his trial, introducing an unsettling narrative that lingered in the room like a haunting melody. In response to his discordant note, Knuff vowed, with an almost chilling resolve, to pursue every avenue to expose what he deemed as lies, further complicating an already mournful atmosphere.
Aggravated robbery.
And when did you get out of prison?
April.
But I never heard him say that he was sorry for his own actions.
The defendant knew the parties, Mr. Mann and Miss Capobianco.
Thomas Knuff allegedly killed the couple in this home just 1 month.
He was looking for him to talk to him about Capobianco's whereabouts.
The prosecution, a bastion of legal authority, found itself in the unenviable position of defending the court's integrity amidst these grave allegations. The simplicity of the language used in this legal battleground reflected the profound sadness that pervaded the room. It was a moment where the pursuit of justice clashed with the complexity of the human condition, leaving an indelible mark of melancholy in the courtroom. As the legal drama unfolded, it became proof of the somber reality that justice at times wears a heavy cloak of sorrow. Victims' families speak out. In the aftermath of the judicial decree that sealed Thomas Knuff's fate, the voices of grief and conflicted sentiments echo through the courtroom. Jonathan Mann, the son of the slain John Mann, stepped into the emotional fray, revealing the intricate web of feelings tangled within him. In a raw and personal revelation, Jonathan conveyed his profound desire to witness Knuff's demise, an emotional response fueled by the pain of losing his father. However, amidst the tumult of emotions, a pragmatic concern emerged. Jonathan, with a heavy heart, opposed the execution, citing the exorbitant cost of demise penalty appeals. The juxtaposition of the personal yearning for retribution against the backdrop of fiscal realities painted a poignant picture of the complex dynamics that were at play. On the other side of this emotional spectrum stood Regina Capobianco's sister, Toni Blender. Her sentiments, in stark contrast to Jonathan's, were tinged with a somber satisfaction as she expressed contentment with the demise penalty sentence. Tony's words, laden with a sense of closure, bore witness to the profound loss endured by the Capobianco family. Yet her wish for Knuff to endure a lonely existence in prison hinted at a yearning for a different form of justice, one that would see him confined to a desolate solitude.
As you can see, this case involves the gruesome murders of 2 individuals.
The aggravated murder of Regina Capobianco to death.
Claiming he was a changed man.
Mr. Kelly, anything you wanted to say relative to that?
Thank you, Your Honor.
The emotional statements from these grieving families served as poignant reminders of the intricacies surrounding the ending penalty. They shed light on the multifaceted nature of justice, where personal sentiments collide with pragmatic considerations. As the victims' families navigated this emotionally charged terrain, their words underscored the profound impact of violent crimes, leaving an indelible mark on the complex tapestry of human emotions. Debate over ending penalty. In the solemn aftermath of Thomas Knuff's ending penalty, the son of victim John Mann steps into the shadow of tragedy, urging Ohio legislators to reconsider the capital punishment that has further intertwined his family with the legal system's grim complexities. As he grapples with the weight of his father's slaying, the family member offers a poignant reflection on the onslaught aftermath that accompanies an ending sentence. The emotional toll and uninvited companion in their grief becomes a formidable adversary as they navigate the labyrinth of legal proceedings, extending the painful chapter that began with Knuff's heinous act. Amidst the somber contemplation, the family member references the Capital Crimes Report, a document that stands as proof of the flaws inherent in the current capital punishment system. The reports call for a critical decision, either hastening the demise penalty process or abolishing it altogether, serves as a glaring indication of the need for a profound reevaluation. Against this backdrop, the grieving family member becomes an advocate for change, emphasizing the need to break free from the shackles of a system that prolongs the anguish for victims as families. With a plea echoing through the halls of legislation, they turn towards two bipartisan-supported bills, SB 103 and HB 183, currently under consideration in the Ohio legislature. These bills, if enacted, aim to dismantle Ohio's demise penalty system, offering a glimmer of hope for an end to the protracted agony experienced by families entangled in the aftermath of heinous crimes.
Were killed in their own home.
And then 29, 29, 03, and 04.
Just out of prison, police say he stabbed a couple in their home and left the bodies behind, rotting there for weeks.
In a plea that resonates with the weight of personal tragedy, the son of the victim becomes a voice urging lawmakers to acknowledge the human cost of the demise penalty and to consider alternative paths towards justice. In this turbulent debate over life and demise, the family member's advocacy encapsulates a call for compassion and a recognition of the prolonged impact on those who bear the heavy burden of loss. Well guys, that does it for this video. See you next time, and bye for now.